Hello again. I tried recording this once and I found that my condenser mic on my phone is no longer giving me what I need. I just get a big long buzz when I record. So I'm using my headset with a mic and hope that this works. We'll try this, and if this doesn't work, then I'll need to go to plan B. Uh, Wanted to share a few thoughts before my day begins the next portion of it. So I'm shooting in the car again. And wanted to share a concept that I find is extremely healing for me. And it may be of value to you, so I'm sharing. It's the concept is the idea of radical acceptance. And most people, when they hear that, they it sounds somehow submissive to them, and that is not at all what that is. It's actually very empowering to have that practice, I find. Radical acceptance is will bring you an enormous amount of peace. And I think we're at a place in time and in history where people need as much peace as they can get right now. Wherever you can grab, any shred of peace, please find a way to harvest it. Find the ways that work for you uniquely, because it's different for every person. But in the hopes that perhaps this might help a few people, it certainly has been helpful for me, I'm sharing. Radical acceptance is the idea that while we don't endorse necessarily the idea that um, certain things are true, for example, name anything that Trump has done pretty much, and that would be true for me. I don't endorse any of that, but I accept that that is what he's doing, or that is the reality of the situation. Or, you know, when I'm in a scenario that's challenging, one of the first things I find myself doing is doing a really brutally honest assessment as soon as I have enough facts to do a brutally honest assessment of the scenario. And what are my resources, what are my liabilities, what's the real lay of the land. As I get a more granular view, then I fill in those details and it gets more fine-tuned and finessed. But having an understanding of what's actually going on and acknowledging that, even if it's just within yourself, without necessarily feeling, like you need to either fight about defending it or having to get upset, because that is the reality. Just accept the fact that that is what's happening. And bear in mind that that's a skill that, for example, Trumpists are incapable of doing. They are incapable of seeing the truth. Just seeing the truth is now considered a subversive act. So congratulations, you've just committed a subversive act. Go you, and keep it up. So there's that. And then letting go, as much as you can, of emotions that are completely understandable, totally human to have in response to all of this. We are living in a time of deep horror. And we are a society in pain. Look around and you see it everywhere. Everyone is in some kind of pain, physically or emotionally or psychologically or some combination thereof, certainly spiritually. There's a spiritual crisis going on for most people of some kind, or it's a time of spiritual awakening. For me, it's kind of both, more the spiritual awakening than crisis, but because it's so dramatic in terms of a shift, the shift in energy is so powerful that it feels a bit like a crisis. As there's just all this change going on so intensely, and the environment in which I've been enmeshed, uh, and still am for the next 2 months, unless something changes, give or take, is full of extremely chaotic and negative energy. Not in every case, but the aggregate is pretty intense. I'm extremely grateful. I'm extremely grateful to be there. This is not in any way ungrateful for the program and the resources. No, 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 no. This is reflecting the fact that society is in chaos. And so the fraying edge of society is even more chaotic than it was when I entered that part of the safety net. It's just a reflection of what's going on in society. But it's chaotic when I'm there, and I feel like I'm a very different person when I'm there because I'm muffling who I am so intensely. Uh, there's one person there that I feel safe having some conversations with about things that matter, and other than that, I keep to myself. But that's okay. I don't judge the other people in that program. I'm mindful that they too are traumatized, all in their own way, or they wouldn't be in the situation that they're in. And so I ache with empathy for them, and I wish them well. And I need to keep my distance to a certain degree because the energy frequency that they're at is one that's uncomfortable for me. It's like a form of like feedback from a speaker. It's not, it's not that anybody's doing anything wrong. It's just the energy warps on itself and it's uncomfortable. I don't feel comfortable around that energy anymore. I put up with it when I have to, and then I try and get away from it, and offer as much compassion as I can while I'm there in ways that I can that are safe to do right now. I was diagnosed yesterday with acute stress disorder, which is basically I'm in trauma, which is true. I'm in trauma, but I manage my trauma pretty well, and I'm resisting any intervention in terms of, especially chemically. Oh no, no, don't no. I'm in trauma. That doesn't mean I want to be zoned out. I use, I use mindfulness. I use meditation, and I use cannabis and breathing. All four. Those are my other four pillars. I have my four pillars, and then I have those. But anyway, that's my thoughts for the day to share. I got some feedback on the last one, and thought I would share another and see if it has any value for you. I hope that your day is, or your night is going well. Hang in there, and remember, unity is our superpower. I love you.